Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Sound Good podcast. I am your host, Michael.
I could really do with, you know who you are. Stop telling me I look like Jeffrey Dahmer. Fucking sick of it. This is bullshit. Is this harassment?
Okay, that was worth the wait. and on today's episode,
Anyway.
We're going to be doing a little discussion on the new Haken. Is it Haken or Haken?
It is Haken like taken.
Haken like taken.
Mm-hmm.
New
if
Haken
you look
album.
at their Facebook, that's what they write, like for the how to describe name.
Beautiful. We're going to be
Or
talking
pronounce,
about their
yeah.
newest album from October titled Vector. We will get into that after a little bit of the music news as per usual. So,
Hey, guess what? Tool's new album isn't coming out in April, I guess.
yeah, right.
No.
That was who said that? Did Keenan came out and
Maynard.
said that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that the Twitter thread was literally like, hey, so about those rumors. Replied, no. That was it. And apparently it was news.
Of course. So yeah, that's
Who cares? No one cares.
good little mini news to start off the episode.
Newsette.
Well, I guess to start off,
Or it was like a news hole, like a donut hole, but it was a news hole. What's your news? Fuck you.
Perfect. Oh, cool. That's my phone going off for some reason.
Oh, it's more news. Hot off the press.
Hey, that's from you sharing one of my posts 6 minutes ago. Fantastic.
Sabotaging the episode.
Perfect. This is all staying in. This is how we do this. Anyway.
Sabotaging from within.
So to start off this episode, I'm going to give you some news. We're going to start off with some sad news. The Guitar Gear pioneer Jim Dunlop has died. He died on February 7th, apparently, at the age of 82. He is.
Was it just old age?
You know, I don't know. It doesn't really say in the article that I'm reading, or that I did read.
Bummer.
But yeah, I mean, if you're any kind of musician, a guitarist, you definitely know who Jim Dunlop is. Probably makes your picks and capos and all that fun stuff. Yeah, he was known for being the guy who came up with that Tortex material that replaced the tortoise shell for picks and all that stuff.
I had no idea that they used tortoise shells for picks.
Yeah,
until you said that.
Right.
That's not humane.
Yeah, well,
at all.
This is the 70s, or before the 70s. But yeah, no, sad news to hear about that. Again, died at February 7th, age 82. So rest in peace, Jim Dunlop.
Definitely.
More news. A little more upbeat news. Cursive and Me Without You are going on a co-headlining tour this May. Tickets went on sale. Tickets went on sale the 8th, so yesterday. According to this recording, you'll probably hear it from when you hear it, probably 2 days ago. So yeah, they're going all over the place. Their original schedule did not even have their hometown of Omaha, Nebraska on it for Cursive, but I guess there's a show happening here that I am.
Yeah, at least they made up for that, right?
Yeah, I'm very worried about that. They
put together a special show just for you.
Yeah, there's a show on the 25th, which is not on their tour poster. The 25th of May, which is the day after their last scheduled tour date in Maquoketa, Iowa. where they're supposedly having a show in Omaha at some little barn grill. So that'll be interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, they're expecting low turnout.
Yeah, to say the least.
Manageable. Yeah.
And just to go ahead and blow my whole news load now, my final piece of news is that Free Throw is going to be coming out with a new album that's been titled What's Past is Prologue. Comes out March 29th, along with like so many other albums that are coming out on March 29th.
Yeah, I think like the new In Flames and Demon Hunter also come out on that day.
Also American Football and the William Bonney re-release.
Yeah.
There's so many albums that are coming out on either the 22nd or the 29th. So
yeah, the spring is stacked music-wise.
Yeah, God, 2019 is starting off strong.
Gonna hurt.
But yeah, so Free Throw's got a new album coming out March 29th. It's on. Who is it on? I think it's through their
Triple Crown Records.
I think it's through Triple Crown.
Yeah.
I know they've got all their new merch and bundles and all that stuff for it up on their own website, freethrowband.com. But yeah, they've got really nice looking vinyl for that, and they've got new shirt merch.
Like? Put you on the spot.
They have one variant that is, I don't know what the pattern is called. Is it like Starburst, or is it Merge? I think is what they call it. It's like a yellow and red merge, where it's like a base of yellow and then there's like a red ring around the outside, kind of.
Ooh, yeah.
It's really weird. It's really hard to describe. That's like I think that one was like one of 500, and then they've got a white base with a black
splatter.
ring. Is it? Let's see. They say splatter, but the splatter is like where it comes out from the middle. Like I think this is merge or something.
All of them are listed as splatter.
I know,
so.
but it's listed incorrectly. Somebody pointed it out on their Facebook.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to describe. There'll be probably a link in the description of the episode in the show notes or something with links to it. We'll
really
put one in there.
Yellow and red splatter that they have like displayed in the example like bundle with the hoodie.
Yeah, that's the.
It goes really well with the artwork.
Yeah, that's the pre-order exclusive. That's out of 300. And then the black or the clear with black splatter is out of 1,100, and that's the standard pressing. But yeah, they've got all that stuff up available on their websites, and that comes out March 29th. So hype.
The acronym for that album is WHIP.
Nice. Just like these days are gone or Tadag.
Today.
Bury your mind as BIM. So what do you have for news today, Micah?
Reset the Clock, Protest the Hero announced some reissues of like more vinyl. I think like within the last year they have reissued like almost their entire discography, right? Like they've done Keziah, Fortress,
Scurrilous,
I guess they did
Volition.
Well, Scurrilous is new, and so is Volition.
Yeah.
Those are the new ones, which are the story. Yeah, they did reissues of Volition, their 4th album, and Scurrilous, their 3rd album. Yeah,
I believe. Yeah.
And the Scurrilous one it's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm so excited.
Absurd.
I'm so excited to get that one in, dude. I ordered that like the second you told me, man.
So did I.
It's like
we ordered like almost at the same time.
Yeah, what is it? It was like a blue. What was it, like a blue and like a dark blue splatter, like an ocean blue or something like that, and then
they called it like a ghostly overlay.
Yeah,
in the description, I think.
Yeah, but
because it looks like a bunch of ghosts like peeking through like water or something.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really hard to explain, but it looks amazing, and I hope like the vinyl actually turns out the way the pictures look,
like that vibrant.
Yeah, just the design on it too looks really good.
And I really feel like they touched up some of the colors on the artwork itself, on the vinyl like packaging too. I think that they kind of pop a little more than like they were kind of faded, I think, on the original album art.
Right. Yeah, just a little bit.
I feel like they're a little touched up. The Volition one's cool. It's the standard album art. When you open up the big when you open up the gatefold, it has like the full album art of like the woman surrounded by the vultures, but yeah, the version that I got from when Volition first came out, like just the front of the gatefold is the art that I just described that's on the inside of the new one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you should see that sometime. I actually haven't shown you that.
Oh, one last thing to mention. I do remember this. They mentioned this about the Scurrilous reissue. The Scurrilous reissue on vinyl is actually going to include the Japan exclusive bonus track from when Scurrilous first came out, To Porter with Love.
Never been on vinyl before.
Yep, never been on vinyl. Only came out on the Japan CDs, I believe, Japanese CDs.
Yep.
So it's a cool little instrumental track. You can listen to it on like YouTube and stuff beforehand, but that'll be the first time it'll be on vinyl, and it'll be probably the first time that anybody in America will be able to own a non-Japanese version of it. So that's cool.
Yeah. And you said it was kind of like Scale the Summit when you listened to
it. Yeah, it feels very like, it's Protest the Hero. It's like, just imagine Protest the Hero without Rhodey. Like,
yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
No, I don't want to.
No, I don't want to. Please don't.
Don't say that. Then my next news, I guess, moving on, is Dream Theater put out another new song. So far they've put out all 3 of the opening tracks
that's
of the
a really
album.
Weird choice for singles.
Yeah, the new single is the second track on the album after Untethered Angel, and it's a short 4-minute like radio rock song, which is a little weird. I mean, they usually have that. Like Wither was one,
Well, like
sort of. I mean, Wither was still more in depth.
yeah, I like I said, I thought it felt kind of more like systematic chaos, Forsaken vibes.
Forsaken was still way proggier and like had a lot more layers to it.
Yeah, that's my biggest complaint with Dream Theater so far is they just feel like they're losing their prog edge. Like
there was, I mean, there were a lot of cool effects, and there is depth if you want to listen for it, but it's still like it feels like an abridged version of a longer song.
Yeah. That's right. I remember I told you like my biggest complaints with it. I felt like the lyrics were kind of cheesy, and especially with like those lines. What is it? A heart that feels no pain, addicted to the game.
To
like,
the game.
Oh wow, very, very insightful lyrics there.
That's me. That's me playing Fortnite.
That's me playing Fortnite. We like Fortnite.
Mom. Anyway,
anyway,
on sort of Dream Theater related, the new song's called Paralyzed, by the way. I should probably say that.
Yeah, I think you did.
The fucking music video, for some reason, at the very start, has like the little orb from Guardians of the Galaxy at the start, like identical for some reason, like the one that was housing like the Power Stone.
Well, I mean,
like I don't.
I mean, they got their album art from Google Images. Why not just get their music video from there too?
Dude, fucking Walt Disney's gonna sue him. Walt Disney himself.
Oh man.
Anyway, on some more, it's kind of Dream Theater related since Petrucci's nephew is a guitarist in Periphery. Periphery finally announced Periphery 4, their 5th album.
You can just stop there calling it that. It's Periphery 4, P4.
Yeah, P4. Yeah, and they put out a new song called Blood Eagle, which is right away, like if you know Norse mythology, that's metal as fuck, and you should know that's going to be just heavy all the way, and it is. I don't know if you listened to it yet.
No, I did not.
You heard some riffs.
Yeah,
that I
heard some riffage on it. I did not listen to the full track.
It's a pretty brutal song. They went back to like the P2 sound a little. Well, maybe more the song structure, but it's a lot more beefy in terms of the guitar tone.
Give me a song off P1 I could compare it to. That's the only one I've listened to.
No, it's not that genty. Not as genty as that.
Damn.
It's a lot more like Haunted Shores, I feel, in terms of the guitars. But there's like a weird break in the middle of the song that actually felt a lot like Intronaut on their newest album.
Oh, that's cool.
That came out a while back.
Yeah, like 4 years ago.
And then the guitar solo is just Meshuggah, like all the way through. It's great. It's like the rhythm backing the solo is entirely different from the solo rhythm itself, you know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, nice.
And of course, Misha was the one that wrote that solo.
Of course.
Yeah.
Good one, Misha.
But I'm really excited. The bundles for that album are really expensive, but I feel like it makes a lot of sense considering that they come with stems for every instrument on every song of the album, which is a lot. Like, that's so much stuff to work with. Normally, like bands like Dream Theater and Between the Buried and Me and other bands, like they usually just pick one song and do stems for it, you know?
It's going to be a huge download. I can't even imagine that. That's going to be like several gigs probably. Not several, but at least a couple though. Jesus.
Like, because like I've said, the opening track called Reptile will be 16 minutes long.
Yeah, wow.
So, which is crazy for a Periphery thing.
16
I mean, they've had
stems,
13. They had Omega itself is 11 minutes, like the title track from.
I'm just trying to think. That's like how many people are in the band? 2 guitarists, a bassist, a vocalist.
Three guitarists.
3 guitarists, a bassist, a vocalist, a drummer.
They have a lot of synth that they write themselves.
Oh my god, dude, that's like
it's gonna be a lot.
So that's like what, 6 different tracks at least.
Backing vocals too.
At least 6 different stems. Like
per song.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm excited. They're really pulling out all the stops considering this is their first release on their solo record label since they left Sumerian. So
yeah, that's hype.
I'm proud of them. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then what is this? Oh, Coheed teased new artwork that's going to be in the comics for Vaxxus that are coming out soon.
Wait, what? Is that what that was for? I saw that
they were drawing Sister Spider.
Oh, I didn't know it was for the comics, dude. I thought that was just like for some like merch or some shit.
Nope.
Yo.
So excited.
That's
because I'm assuming they'll do more issues of Vaxxus 1. right? Or
I mean, yeah, they'll probably like release it like they did. Dude, come on, they gotta finish. They gotta finish the regular Amory Wars story first, dude. Come on,
no,
man, dude,
never.
We just got through Good Apollo 1. Where's No World for Tomorrow? Like, please don't start this new story without finishing off the Amory Wars. I will be so upset.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it was just really detailed artwork being drawn of Sister Spider, and it just said coming soon.
Yeah,
so.
I know. It's like, it sounds like it could be comics, but at the same time, like, maybe it's just like posters. Maybe it's just like merch or something.
Possibly. And I guess I feel like you would know more about this. Sun O parenthesis.
Yeah, it's Sun.
They announced a new album, which is the first new album in I guess several years.
Yeah,
so,
like I want to say
if you're into drone metal,
5 years at least.
Yeah, if you're into drone metal, I guess that's for you. But I've never listened to them. I just know that they're a pretty prominent name. Are they?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Awesome.
again, if you like drone.
I know, yeah, that's a big asterisk.
Yeah. They actually did a release with Japanese drone metal band. What was their name? Oh my god, I can't remember the name, but they did a split LP with a Japanese drone band that was actually really good too.
Huh.
In like 2007 or something.
Okay.
But yeah, no, they're
Neato.
fantastic. I was bringing that up because like that's like probably their most accessible album.
Okay.
If you're ever trying to
I'll
listen
probably
to
check.
them.
I'll try to check that out.
Yeah, for sure.
You said it came out in like 2007.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty old.
Okay.
2006.
Well, that's all of my news.
Alter is what it's called. Alter.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Boris
I will
was the
write that
band.
down.
Boris. Yeah,
Nice. I'm
fantastic.
excited.
It's a decent album.
I've been trying to browse a lot of new music lately, so I'll probably like also start a radio for that because I don't want to get into some drone.
It's not hard. You just kind of put it on and forget you're listening to it.
Anyway,
is what? Hey, Michael, what time is it?
it's 101.
That's right. Time to review the album.
I guess that was a transition. Cool. Anyway, Haken put out their new album Vector on October 26th, and it was their 5th album, recorded in London and Mexico City. Interesting. And okay, well, it's probably.
You said London. So where are these guys from again?
They're British.
Okay. You couldn't tell by the music, so. I mean, like voice wise.
True.
Yeah, you hear no accent, so I was just curious.
It is still a very distinct voice, but
sure.
Yeah. So this was put out on Inside Out Music, that's the Sony label, right?
I am not sure. I don't want to comment.
I think yes, it is. Parent company is Sony Music.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the label that Dream Theater is currently on also.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, that was mixed and mastered by the ex-Periphery bassist, so that's really interesting. He did still like write and record bass for the new Periphery album I mentioned earlier, but he's still just not ever touring with them.
He's just their studio musician, man.
Yeah, so because he's going full force on his production, and I think he's fucking killing it. The production on this album is so good.
Yeah. It's very crisp and clear. Yeah,
and like just the basses on the bass and the synth it's so deep and rich.
God, yeah, I was gonna point that out, like, because now that you said like it was a bassist who did the mixing and mastering and stuff. No, like seriously, yeah. I feel like producers who have like a bass background are able to understand mixing better. Like almost, it just feels like because. Mm-hmm. He, like, in a lot of mixes, the bass is really ignored. It's either just made, like, too punchy or it's just too, like, in like down in the mix, you can't hear it, but like straight up, this album like kicks you in the face with bass tone all over the place, especially in a, I'm not sure if it's a guitar that does the riff in The Good Doctor or if it's a bass, but that like really genty main verse riff and all that stuff like in that song, really,
it might be both, honestly. They're probably playing the same thing together.
It really just punches you in the face and just does not stop. It's very like full and like full sounding. It doesn't sound very like weak at all. It's very poppy and it's there, and you have to pay attention to it. It's so good to like hear that in a song and not just hear it get like lost in the music later. Yeah,
and then there's just the aspects of like the synth where they don't use, like, even though there's like really rich bass on the synth too, they don't use bass drops ever, which I think was smart. They just, like, the opening instrumental track called Clear is just like this kind of Inception, just wow.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And it's just like, it's just so deep and fantastic.
Yeah, it's the tones
really
are
ominous.
Yeah, the tones are very full. Like they're just rounded out. Everything's very rounded out, like very well on this album production wise. Like everything you can hear, everything. No instrument, no riff, no line ever gets like lost. You know.
Yeah, and so like there were only a few singles released for this. No, there were only two. They put out The Good Doctor and Puzzle Box, which are essentially the first and second tracks of the album, not counting the intro. Yeah, and also that's essentially what 2/7. We'll say a 2/6, so a third of the album. Because if you don't count the intro, the album's only like 6 songs and it's 45 minutes long.
Yeah, right.
These are long boys. Basically.
Yeah, that's the thing about the this album too, is I knew they were a prog band. I knew you've told me they were a prog band. I was not expecting the 13-minute track that Veil came out to be, because I didn't like look at the songs and like inspect them before I listened. I just threw the album on and started listening. So like I got about like halfway through Veil and I heard something again that I hadn't heard in a while, and I thought, oh man, is this still the same song? Like, wow, how long? I looked down and I was like 7.5 minutes out of 13, and I was like, oh okay, they're this kind of band.
Yeah, Veil is like a pretty wild song.
It's so good
in and of itself. It starts out like really quiet and melodic, and then like fades in with like a unison beat of like piano and drum, and it's like this really floaty, again, like really bright melodic like instrumental opening, but then it just goes into like the filthiest fucking riff ever.
Okay, so here's like my breakdown of Veil. Veil is Haken's attempt to take Between the Buried and Me's soft songwriting and mix it with like old Dream Theater's heavy songwriting, and they did it like so well. There's such good dynamics in this one song alone that like I don't know, it almost overshadows the dynamics in every other track, because no other track on the album, while they all are very good and they all do their own dynamics well, none of them can compare to how well Veil does its dynamics.
And I think it only comes from the fact that they really obviously let the song breathe, because of the fact that it's 13 minutes long.
Yeah.
That gives you room to be dynamic. I think Puzzle Box kind of comes close, and maybe Hosts and A Cell Divides, because Hosts and A Cell Divides are really close to being like the same song together.
Yeah. Host is like really chill too, which I appreciate, that they have like a decently long song. Right? That song's long, right? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's 7 minutes.
Yeah. Basically. They have like a decently long song that's just mostly soft and chill for like a majority of the song. So I really dig that they were not afraid to do that. I also dig that this band that has songs dominated by vocal lines and a singer had a very, very good instrumental track on the album too. Nil by Mouth. That's like a 6.5 minute long instrumental.
That I would be interested to see how many times that song changes time signatures, like for comparison up against a different famous song. Yeah,
a different unnamed famous song with 110 time signature changes.
No one would ever know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was thoroughly impressed when I heard "Nil" by Mouth for the first time, because after I listened to it, I realized I was like, oh wow, that song did not have any lyrics in it, because what song comes after that? It goes into like a heavier.
Host.
It goes into Host. Okay.
Yeah.
So not heavier, but a more vocally dominant song again.
Yeah.
It goes like just the transitions and their dynamics and how they do instrumentals. I was very impressed with the sound they were able to get out of an instrumental track, despite being, I don't want to say vocally centered, but a vocally conscious and vocally like dominant song structure.
Oh yeah, like they're really smart. They did it on Affinity 2, which you didn't listen to a ton.
Correct.
Where, I mean, they do focus on Ross Jennings is the singer.
Uh-huh.
They focus on him, like they let him have a place on a lot of every song, but then they are smart enough to have songs like in the middle of the album where there's really long instrumental breaks, because they are trying to be like that kind of prog band. There was a song called like The Architect, I want to say, which was, that song's really cool if you ever want to go listen to it, where it really takes the name to heart and makes a song that is just like, it's the when you listen to it, it's as if the song is putting itself together as you listen to it.
Oh,
like
wow.
It's just building and building, like, you know, like you feel like you're listening to like a song being written almost as you're listening to it,
Right.
as all the pieces come together.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I think that Nil by Mouth and probably large sections of Veil for the most part, like Veil is probably the kind of lightest, like it gets some, since it's 13 minutes, yeah, it gets pretty big sections of no vocals as well. But yeah, the whole album is pretty dominated by like choruses for the most part.
Yeah, and that's not even like a bad criticism, like because you said what was his
they're
name?
so catchy.
What was his name?
Ross Jennings.
Ross. Yeah, he's got a great voice. Like
I could easily see his voice like breaking the band for some people, though.
I mean,
It's another one of those prog situations where he has like this weird nasally high pitched voice, kind of like Rush, you know.
oh, I don't think it's
Where
that bad.
some people, I don't think he sounds like Rush, but I just feel like some people would hear it and go,
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
I don't know. What all I
It's a taste
like
thing.
all I could compare his voice to was like,
he's so unique.
yeah, there was like nothing to compare to it. Like outside of like maybe saying he sounds like Tommy a little bit when he does his cleans and all that stuff. Like maybe
Yeah.
like when
The
Tommy's
timbre's totally different.
I
still,
mean,
though.
like when Tommy's not doing his like, you know, thing.
Take a drag of a cigarette.
Yeah, like
black and white.
when he's not out there going sweet candy populous.
Playing an accordion.
Yeah, right. When he's not doing his like creepy clean voice, like I don't know. They're kind of
No, I mean I'm thinking of no, I know what you mean. I'm thinking of the Black Box, for example, from Paralyzed 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's a beautiful song if you want to like know what Tommy's clean voice sounds like.
Yeah. That's like the farthest stretch I would go. He has a very unique voice, and I don't know. I don't see how his voice could like ruin the band. Maybe if they're blindsided with like The Good Doctor and how it comes in with like that gent shit, and then all of a sudden it just goes into like 80s style vocals. I could see how that could turn somebody off.
Yeah, I just know that some people have an aversion, like even with Dream Theater, just like the higher pitched male vocals sometimes are weird for some people.
Yeah, well, they're just cowards.
Basically. I feel like that's just kind of a sign of, I feel like this is just sounding so elitist, but like I feel like that's just a sign of not as much open-mindedness as you could probably have.
Intellectual
but,
coward.
It's fine.
Intellectual cowards.
You guys over there with your Ariana Grande, and I'm over here an intellectual
I'm
with
coming.
my Ross. Yeah, I am. Anyway, did you catch like in the puzzle box? I don't know how familiar you are with it. There's like a weird synth break that is just like the Terminator 2 theme. And it's hilarious to me every time I hear it.
I've never seen the Terminator 2, so I probably would not recognize it.
Oh, it's the part that goes kind of just like boo-na-noo, boo, boo-na-noo. Like there's like a weird, that's just the Terminator 2 theme.
Oh wow.
It's
Nah,
hysterical.
I don't think I noticed it. I don't think I noticed that, even though
Yeah.
like Puzzle Box is probably one of my favorite tracks on the album.
Dude, like, so it has this, like, the main motif of the song is this crazy snare, like, kind of, not a snare roll, but like just kind of, I don't know if I want to say like 16th note snare hit, you know?
Yeah.
Just like the first thing you hear from the song, essentially. And they just, the way they come back to it after the instrumental break with, instead of the drummer doing it on the snare, it's the guitarist doing it with palm mutes, is just fantastic. And then because it's kind of like a darker song for the most part, even in the chorus, but the last time they come back with the chorus, it's a much more like major key sounding chorus, and it's just fantastic. I feel like, I wonder if that's like to signify like the solving of the puzzle box.
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
But like, it's like kind of frustration at first, but then since they come back at it from a happier angle eventually.
Right. Yeah. No.
I see what you're doing. You're playing it right now, so you know what I'm talking about, you fuck.
What do you mean? Nobody else can hear this. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Can anyone hear you cheating if they can't?
Correct.
If there's no one around to hear it.
I'm not cheating.
Yeah.
But no, I know what you're talking about. You made me want to listen to it while we were talking about it.
Because it's a good song.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, the fact that this song is on this album actually makes it very hard to have a favorite on this album.
I really like the moment in A Cell Divides when they start saying like the title of the song. Like, there's a chorus part where they are going A Cell Divides and multiplies.
Yeah.
Like, the rhythm on that part is probably like one of my favorites standout. Like, it's a nice climax to the album.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a big fan of that song as like an ending song.
That's fair.
It finishes a little too suddenly. Like,
That's kind of where I'm coming from, where like I put this as my number 10 because there were so many other things that I felt like were more complete packages, because this album just ends so fast, it feels.
Yeah, like it's a long album, roughly, almost 50 minutes long. That's pretty long for an album.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age. And then to have it be like such fully fleshed out and like dynamic and full songs, and then to have it end so abruptly, like, you don't have to have a fade out or anything like that at the end of your album. Just make it like end. Well, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, make the ending satisfying. And just the ending of this album, despite it being so good, it's a very unsatisfying ending because it's so like hype of an.
Yeah, like the song's
and then
rising, you don't feel like something's ending.
And that's it.
I do appreciate that they kind of go a cool route of the start and end of. I don't know if the start does, I can't remember, but like the end of the song, A Cell Divides, they have like sound effects of like a tape being put into a player or taken out, and I think that loops the album really well. And I always appreciate that when you can loop an album.
Do you say it's like at the end?
But because they were going for, it's like at the very end. There's like a sound effect of like, because they're going for a like asylum doctor kind of thing, and like the CDs themselves, the print on the front of the CDs is like, it makes it look like it's a reel,
weird,
like a recording reel, Yeah, they really went all in on the merchandise for this. Like, all the lyrics in the lyric book are written on like medical
that
documents.
Tape click thing must not be in the digital version then. Yeah, because I don't
think it is actually, because I'm looking at the wiki, and so the digital version of A Cell Divides is 457.
What?
And it actually says the physical is 604.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot like that.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got like a whole other like minute at the end of like something to tie the album. That's really strange. Wow,
that's wild.
I did not know that. Now, see, yeah, but I mean, even
I think
still,
it's just like ambient noise,
if it ends with the tape click, that's some like important album ending, like tie together stuff that I didn't get. So I mean, maybe with. Maybe with that like minute of ambience at the end, maybe it does end a little cleaner, because like you said, maybe if it's ambience that leads to the tape click, then like it would make more sense.
It's still pretty abrupt, though, I still feel. And And I have seen people have theories that what if this is like part one of a double
Maybe.
concept album, but like
Maybe. You never know.
I don't know. Yeah, if that was the case, this totally like it's not a. I don't want to be a dick. It's not an automata situation. This totally stands on its own for sure. Yeah, it's not that bad of. It's not a blot ending scenario.
Right.
You know, you don't feel like you got half an album. It just feels like a short album, and like. The album's like this is by far their tightest album, like production wise and songwriting wise. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like this is if you wanted to argue quality over quantity, sure. But I'm used to 70-minute albums by them, so that's why I'm like.
Okay, well, to wrap it up, did you have any?
That's about it.
Pickable favorite tracks?
Or
anything like that?
I don't know that I like The Good Doctor. I like it. Sorry, that came out wrong. Don't attack me. It's just my least favorite one.
That's fair. It's a very good opening song. I think it's a little too short, but it does groove and it is a absolute jam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's the most chorus heavy song for sure. You get it a lot, but it's a good chorus. I would probably go with
Veil. That's fair.
Veil.
That's fair. I'm probably going to have to go with...
Yeah. What'd you go with?
God, dude, it's so hard. Yeah, I think
Nail
I'm
by
going to
Mouth
have to
is a
actually
strong contender.
pick Puzzle Box as my favorite.
I will not
with
blame
Nail
you.
by Mouth, like, very close second.
As we're getting to the part of the song, we're still listening to it for you listeners. We're at the part I was talking about where the guitar takes the mantle of bringing back the motif, and it's just... It's great. I love it. While the drums just go wild with a little solo.
Probably Puzzle Box easily.
But
it's such a good song.
That's fair.
Yeah,
dude. Tracks 3, 4,
the whole
and
middle
5
section of the album
so
is like just the best like meat of an album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, all right. Well, it's been like 2 weeks. It's secretly, no one has to know that. What
dude.
have you had going on musically?
Talking
in your
like
life?
Stuff I've been listening to, or
a lot.
Oh, dude, I've been listening to a lot of Little Peep.
Yeah, dude.
A lot of Little Peep for some reason. I don't know. I have been.
That's what I call my
wholesome podcast. I have been listening to
family friendly.
What? Not in this Christian server. I have been listening to a lot of the album. What is it? Call Me When You're Sober, Part 2 by Lil Peep. Nah, it's really good.
Sounds
really
like a Kelly
good
Clarkson
emotional trap.
Album name.
That kind of bullshit. Yeah, a lot of that. A lot of Dalek.
Okay. Nice.
Old school Death Grips roots. I don't know. I haven't been really.
Yeah,
I've been listening to more other
scary.
podcasts than I have music these past couple of weeks for some reason. Yes.
Than our podcast?
Hey man, Michael. I got to listen to the ones I pay money for, so yeah. How about you?
Anyway,
let me critique your taste.
I've been jamming. I got the vinyl for it, and I'm waiting, but I've been jamming the Astronoid to kind of get a feel for that. I'd like to talk about it eventually. It's pretty neat. Yeah, it's really good. It's a lot better than their first album was great, but this is definitely a step in the right direction for them. Yeah, and so then I wasn't feeling the new Periphery track Blood Eagle at first because it's like so busy and heavy that it's really tough to like pick out the individual sounds on the first listen, you know, and you're like, you just feel like you got hit with a wall at first, but I've probably listened to it in the last 2 days, like 10 times. It's so good. It feels like a natural progression of the song Ragnarok if someone who is listening remembers that song from P2. But I found a really cool new band called The Drowned God, which they are not as heavy as they sound. Trust me, or what the album cover looks like. They're okay. Like almost alternative. They're great. Yeah, and I've been trying to listen to the new Dream Theater to see if I like it.
I forgot. I have one big
trying to get an opinion on it. Oh no.
it's big, but it can be an ending thing. I should have put this in the news because it's a new release, but the dudes in Stars Hollow, the Iowa-based emo revival screamo good music band. What's that?
Yeah, this band Fuck shared them. I was happy.
Yes, they're
this
fantastic.
Band Fuck
Dude.
shared them
such
on Twitter.
A good.
Yeah. It was the 7-inch.
Yeah. Oh no, they put out a
you got me for my birthday.
they put out a new song a couple weeks ago, I think, called Tadpole. That is absolutely fantastic, and I've been listening to that as well a lot.
Is it?
Very good. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend
Nice.
following Stars Hollow. Highly recommend checking out all their music and supporting the shit out of that band because they deserve it and they're the best.
The last thing that's really off the wall and stupid is I found it, so I got it. The Katamari Damacy soundtrack was
wow.
vinyl.
So Discord just opened like 12 tabs of their support page in
really
my
good.
internet randomly, so I think it's time to stop the episode.